Who in the hell is sitting on an airport floor?
They all, oh, dude, seriously. When I had a
Ooh,
trip up to Tennessee, they were all on the floors next to the plugs and everything. Now, mind you,
ooh,
at this time where I was at, they were actually installing chairs and seats that had built-in plugs in them. So they'll do anything. Anybody will go anywhere to get a charge these days,
I
especially for
worked
the
too
phone.
hard to keep my booty clean to sit
Mm.
on the floor of an airport.
Yeah, it was that bad, man. It was that bad. This whole Switch 2 thing with the piss poor battery life and everything, it's just going to get. I'm wondering if they're going to like try to make more accessories out of it just so they can get more money off of it. You know, like rechargeable batteries or some shit like that. They're going to come out with something.
I ain't heard nothing you said after you said people be sitting on the airport floor. No, sir. I didn't hear a damn thing you said.
Yeah, take a drink, buddy.
Yeah,
They live among us. They do.
I'm not all right, y'all. Hey, Brandon, that was priceless content you just missed right there.
No, we should probably keep. He's still recording this. We're going
We
to
should
keep
keep
this.
that.
We may
We
as
should
well
keep
stick
that.
on this subject. We may as well just
Yeah,
stay on the
yeah.
subject
Get your
here.
ass up. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for tuning in to another Bills and War podcast. It is I, Sir Bigness, along with Matilda and Beard Ninja. We are going to discuss the Nintendo Switch 2 pricing, as well as why you should keep your butt off an airport floor.
Fears of War Gaming Podcast.
Step in, guys.
We're talking about battery life.
I think the more
how do
important
we go
issue
from
is keeping
battery
your
life?
booty off the airport floor.
How do we go from battery life to booty on the airport floor?
Because
So,
people is fiending for a charge.
That's
so
practically what it is. This immediate gratification has gotten so out of hand. People are doing that, you know. They'll sit on the floor, or once, you know, depending on what airport you go to, they're going to have a place where you can sit down and just keep it charged in and everything. You know, they're definitely going to get their money's worth.
I'll wait for this generation.
and you know, half those people that go to that airport are not sanitary. They shouldn't be in there.
Ain't nothing clean about them.
So let's get back to the topic on hand. Another big controversy with the new Switch 2 is game prices. And right now they're saying that a digital download is going to be $79.99 and a physical copy is going to be $89.99. Compared to what everybody's been used to paying for games, I mean, it's kind of a price shock for a lot of people. Unless you're one of those people that goes buys the special edition releases and stuff like that with all the extra content.
Well, they can kiss my ass for free 99. Free 99. I just hell with that.
How much is soap for your airport feet?
I'm just saying, man. It's like that's just like I mean, I've played Switch. I've seen the games. You know, there's some of them are barely, you know, getting the ports over for games that have been around for a long time. You know, and I don't know, man. It's just I don't see any reason why the hike should be going up like that. You know, I mean, what do I know? I don't know anything about numbers or crunching. I don't know anything about running a business. All I know is I'm a consumer and I'd like to actually feel like I'm not getting, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Taken advantage of for my
Yes.
wallet, you know? I don't want to feel like I have to get a major credit card out now just to, you know, accommodate my hobby, my passion, you know, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I've actually considered it. You see GameStop now, they even have their own credit card, which they've had for a while. Microsoft has, Xbox has their own MasterCard now, which I actually started reading on it a little bit because gaming is starting to become much more expensive now. It's my hobby is starting to become very expensive, you know, and now I got to figure out where the sacrifice or where I draw the line now on the prices of the games and everything, especially in this industry now. Which I don't know where we went wrong, you know, when it came to that. You know, you can go out and you can just buy a game. I mean, what was it, $50, $60? And now
$50.
the game, yeah. And so now it's like it just keeps going up and up and up. And it's just like, you know, well, hell, I mean, that kind of money you could be paying off a bill. I don't know. I think more people will be more inclined to play if they can actually afford it. And there's people out there that can't afford this shit. They can, and some people can't. Life gets in the way sometimes, and you got other expenses to take care of and whatnot. And what's the best way to handle and manage life, especially for a gamer? Play video games. Don't get me wrong. I love kicking back and playing an old school video game that I've had and everything, but sometimes I like to change it up a bit, play something new, something that came out, something people are talking about, and I want to enjoy it and have fun. What is it going to be at the expense for my wallet, just to do something like that? And I'm not going to wait for the holiday season when it goes down to the actual price of what we used to pay for games 5 years ago or whatever. Wow, $60 is a great deal. When I had a $60 game came out, I mean, it was like, 20, 30, even some cases $40 off. You can buy a game at a decent price. And I was one of those guys that waited, for the holiday season for games to come out and everything. And I'm okay with that now. I don't have the fear of missing out mostly when it comes to games, except, for certain franchises that I love, certain IPs that I love, like the Gears of War series, right? I will get those games always on like day one, and I know it's going to be probably up there in price. What we got right here?
Well, I did a Google search and I found a Toys R Us ad. I want to say right around the Christmas of '96 because one of the games on there is Madden '97. But
Yeah.
it has a list of a few of the prices on there and some of the games. And one of the games is Street Fighter 2 Alpha 69.99.
Yep.
NBA Hang Time 69.99. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 69.99. Went online and did a inflation calculator from 1996 to today, and that 69.99 game would have cost us $141.71 today. I'm
Not even expensive back then, you know?
Yeah, the shit was overpriced back then. I remember paying $70 for American Gladiators, which is the only video game to this date I've ever taken back.
I know we're all like, I guess we've got spoiled for so long with cheap games. Have they kept the prices down on the games to generate sales versus keeping the prices down hurts quality of games if they're keeping the price deflated so they can try to sell more, but then at the same time they're not generating enough revenue to be able to finance or produce the next game because they're not making their money back. Now I could be wrong. So I don't know because I know some of these games are nine figures. Some of these AAA games are nine figures to develop. Then you got to figure in just the development costs and then the media costs and the production cost. You're probably looking at $1 billion for a AAA game at least to develop. And if it bombs, then
You
they're
got a
out a
business.
lot of money. But if they keep the price down to be able to just get people to go buy it and at least recoup a big chunk of their money, if not make a slight profit. But now is this going to open up the door because now they're able to make their money back quicker on less copies and then turn that profit quicker? Does that mean down the road they can make better quality games
That
because they're
depends on
not
something.
just has it?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
It depends on the quality of the game. The best, or my favorite game from last year was $40. It was Helldivers. $40. And not just a game, it was like, there was a while there, Helldivers had us in a chokehold. That game was gaming. How much was Fortnite? Wasn't it free?
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals? Isn't it free?
Well, they make
So
their money on the transactions.
exactly. So there are a couple of different business models you can operate from. You can either charge $70 for the game and hope to God that you sell a bazillion copies, or you put it out there. You put it out there for a reasonable price, sell a bunch of copies, and the example I use is this: Red Robin. Red Robin sells burgers for like $16.99. McDonald's sells burgers for $5. Which one has more locations? It's what people can afford, and it may not even necessarily be the quality of the experience, but it all depends on what you put out there for the people. If you put out a crap game that is built poorly, that you didn't really dedicate the time and interest into, or you try to send out one of these what are they called, live service games, and it bombs, because most live service games now will bomb. We've done enough with Fortnite and Roblox and Destiny. I think we're on the tail end of the live service model. Um, you just have to put out a quality product, and that goes into your testing, that goes into your writing. You have to do all the groundwork to build a decent setup so that people will pay money.
I
Mm.
agree with you. I mean, as long as you're building something and producing something that people would want to play, getting your money back's not the problem. We all know from time and time again where there's a game coming out, it's an IP that everybody wants, everybody's been looking forward to, and it's so overhyped, but when it comes out, it completely is just garbage.
Yeah,
I mean, wasn't there a
Cyberpunk,
big game just it wasn't even that. I thought there was another like there was a game I remember and it was like what was that pirate game that
Sea of
Ubisoft came out
Thieves,
with? No,
Oh,
that's
Skull
the
and
Xbox
Bones.
game. Skull and
Skull
Bones.
and Bones, Skull and Bones. I'm
Remember
sorry,
how
Skull
much
and Bones. Yeah, it was.
remember how much that game was hyped before it came out, and then once it started going through demo phase and beta testing all this and started to leak at how bad this game was.
I couldn't even finish the demo or the beta.
Mhm.
And the game nowadays, you can find it brand new, damn near for like $20.
That's probably still too much.
It probably is, yeah.
And, and the hell of the thing about that specific game is you had the model to make that game fantastic. That game was an offshoot of Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Hmm.
All you had to do was build that specific universe out. You could have put Edward Kenway in it. Um, I forget the name of the other fellow that was in it that was with him, the black guy that was with him. You put that universe in there, build it out,
And Wally.
put it out there. You don't necessarily even have to call it Skull and Bones. You could call it well, not the Pirates of the Caribbean, that was trademarked, but you could put that out there, and you would have sold a bunch of copies. What troubles me the most is you have really, since we're talking about game pricing in general, and the companies need to make money. You have a lot of companies that are out there sitting on IPs that they could make a ton of money on that they just flat out won't. If and I use keep hammering this example. If EA came out tomorrow and said December the 4th, we are releasing a reboot of Need for Speed Underground. All they have to do, revamp it, put it in 4K or 8K or whichever K we're up to now, put it out there on the market, you're going to sell a ton of copies. You're going to make a whole bunch of money because retro gamers, such as myself, and people who played that game when it first came out, we will line up at the store to buy it. How many IPs are they just sitting on that they could make a bunch of money on? You saw it with EA and college football. How much did that game sell? Was it number 2, number 3 this year? Or last year? Still selling, people still playing. There's just no imagination amongst the people who build and develop games anymore. And that's part of the thing that's killing the industry. And then they want us to pay more for it.
And they're banking on AI to make games for us now too.
You shut your filthy mouth.
EA Sports College Football 25 was number 2 last year, behind Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Helldivers 2 was third.
One of those games that list was $40.
Yeah, because I paid 30 something, 31, 32 for the bonus, the extra content, or you can
Yeah.
go spend $20 and get the base game now for Helldivers.
Not only was it third, it released on one console.
But that was on PC as well.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was on PC. My bad. Please forgive me. But it didn't release on Xbox. It didn't release on Switch. It released on one video game console and a PC. Make good games. That's my answer. You want to make more money? Make good games.
Just throwing this out there. I enjoyed it when I was playing Helldivers and everything, and the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't so long and drawn out and having to learn 50,000 combos or just whatever the case may be and everything. It was just a fun game to play, and that's what we're lacking nowadays when we're wanting to play video games and whatnot. And honestly, I think the pricing is kind of a kick in the gut, too.
Mhm.
You want me to pay for something that's not even complete. You want me to pay for something that I may not even enjoy. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm a big deterrent when it comes to that. If there's a game out there that's not complete, I'm not going to usually spend most of my time trying to just wait for the patches to come through and everything. And it takes a lot for me to complete something like that. Cyberpunk 2077, when it came out, it got some of the worst bashing. And I knew that, to me, it felt like the company was just trying to get more money out of it and everything. And it was an unreleased product. But when I played it, I actually enjoyed it. I mean, I soldiered through the glitches and everything like that. It was actually a phenomenal story. And I think publishers and developers should really take the time and not let the deadlines determine what the value of this game is going to be, not whether it be financial or whether it be by the quality of the game that comes out as well.
I think the one thing they don't remember is that the gamers are going to be here. If it doesn't release in November, release it in March. If it doesn't release in March, release it in June. Release it when it's ready. Release it when it's done. Tell the stockholders to shut up and they can wait 3 months on their money.
They should know by now that gamers are willing to wait for a game. How long we've been waiting for GTA 6?
I had 2 more teeth and most of my beard was black.
The thing with GTA 6, that's the most anticipated game in history.
I have the hell of the question. What if it's not good? What if it's not good? Really? Really? What if, and I don't mean just technical glitches. What if the story is just not good?
Well, that's just it. They don't have to worry about the story being good because most of their fan base is online now. So, as long as you keep dishing out missions and all these little microtransactions and whatnot. Me personally, I'm a story guy when it comes to the game. I love GTA 5 personally. I thought it should have been a movie as well. If you were going to make a GTA movie, that's where it should start right there. It was great. So, not everybody's going to agree with me on that, but that's just my feeling about it. But I do agree with what you're saying. I'm not really agree, but more like, well, what if it does suck? What if the story does suck? Is it going to want me to continue playing? Yeah, I'm probably going to play online. I don't think I'm going to be, and I'm just putting this out here right now. I have put a buttload of hours in GTA 5 online. All right. I mean, I like a lot. It's probably one of the games I've played. It's like right there with Gears when I'm playing Horde mode and everything. And I think after everything, I've gotten my money's worth out of GTA 5. I think GTA 6 better have a good story, but I don't think I'm going to be doing the online as nearly as much as I used to. You know,
No time.
I don't have time, and there's other things out there now that I want to experience. And I love Rockstar. I think they're one of my favorite developers and everything. And for the most part, they pushed out a lot of good quality games. Not so much with their trilogy that they released on Grand Theft Auto, but So other than that, I think they're going to do everything they can to make sure that they're going to make a rock solid game. And I bet they got a lot of people behind involved on the stories. I like the idea of having a female protagonist and everything. To me, I think that's great. You don't get to see it in those kind of games and everything. And I think it'll be a good story. I really do. Well, I think it's GTA 5 worthy. Maybe not, but I can't judge it just so harshly until I actually play it. And I will be getting it. So that's a guarantee.
Day and date, yes, I will.
Yep.
I think we all will.
It's a day one game. Now with everybody trying to download it, it'll probably take you 3 weeks because how many people trying to get it.
So a greater question we're asking, because with Nintendo asking people to pony up $80 for an experience, at what point does the juice no longer worth the squeeze? Because we just talked about the reason we're not going to play GTA 6 online as much is because we don't have time. The reason why I didn't continue to play Destiny past a certain point is because I didn't have time. It wasn't worth it anymore. At what point do you look at the $80 you're going to make plus the time you're going to spend invested in that experience and say, nah, I can't. I don't have the time. I don't have or I may have the money, but I don't have the time. A game like Valhalla that was 100 hours to complete, like just a disgusting amount of content. At what point do you just go, hey, I can't?
I think older gamers, and I couldn't agree more with what you just said, but I think with older gamers, they're starting to become more complacent now on what they want to play. My go-to every night now, I play with some other Beers of War members. has been Gears 5 Horde mode. I'm more complacent with it and everything, but I do like to occasionally play other games so that a way I feel like I've gotten my money's worth. And right now I'm playing a game which I plan on doing a separate video on for the Beers channel. I'm playing a game right now that's on sale. It's like 80% off, and it's a game I told myself I would never get. And after I started
Hot
playing
chocolate
this
too.
game, but after I started
Super
playing this
hot.
game,
Super hot.
yeah, no. So I started playing this game, and I was like, why in God's green earth did I ever badmouth this game? Like, I've never played it. I told myself I would never play it because it's basically a remake of a certain series that I love a lot. And so I want to get something out on that. But yeah, I mean, I'm complacent with a lot of the games that I play now, being as an older gamer and everything. Do I want to play the latest and greatest? Sure, I do. Do I have the time to do it? Not necessarily. A lot of us don't know. We got lives. We got other lives we have to help take care of. And sometimes that's another thing that's a deciding factor for me when it comes to the pricing of gaming and everything too. Am I going to want to pay this much money for a game that I may or may not play a whole lot of? Is that really worth my time? You got to ask yourself that too when you're an older gamer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Younger ones, they'll just buy these things and just move on to the next thing. They'll get their immediate gratification. They probably won't like with when it comes to Rockstar Games, GTA 5. One of the things that really impressed me the most about this company is their details of the game. You're driving a car, you get out of the car, you can still hear the radiator popping because of how hot the car got and everything. You bust out a window, you're stepping on it, you can hear the crunch of the glass. I come to appreciate those things a lot more now as an older gamer, whereas the younger generation, they'll just buy this damn thing, they'll play it, they'll probably talk shit about it or something like that and move on. Don't not really have a good reason why they don't like the game and whatnot. Okay, well, you also paid like $100 for this damn game too. How does that make you feel? Mom's gonna buy me shit. Dad's gonna buy me this game. Whatever. You wait. That's my soapbox. Again.
Yeah. And you think that $80 price tag ain't gonna hurt sales when it comes to parents looking at their kids like, I'm not spending $80 on this. Not while you got a D in math.
hmm
I'm not spending $80
That
on
ain't
this. No.
That's going to be another topic for discussion. How way people raising their kids nowadays, because a lot of there are some parents out there that will buy those D students still games just
I'm
so
in
they can get them off their backs.
I'm in no
it's
position.
all about.
Yeah.
Too many parents nowadays want to be their kid's best friend instead of being a parent.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Again, this is another subject.
I'm in no position to judge. I'll put it like that.
I was just going to wrap it up.
I'm ready.
No, I mean my thoughts are is this a precedent now for the rest of the gaming industry? What do you think the PlayStation 6 and new iteration of Xbox? What do you think those games are going to be?
Everything's going to keep going up.
I
I mean, it's almost inevitable.
You're probably going to start seeing the same thing. Prices are going to go up, probably pretty close to the same price. Now that finally Nintendo pulled the trigger on the price difference between physical and digital, I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of that to,
Hmm.
as a way to try to push more people into the digital media.
Let's put a bow on this one,
For those
boys.
you, let me say one more thing. For those of you listening and watching this, tell us what you think about the increase in pricing for video games. Is it justified, or are you pretty much like us and like, is it going to be worth it? Now, especially the cost of money, the investment versus the amount of time we're able to play now, especially for us older gamers. I'll flip it back over to Sir Bigness so he can take us out.
All right, fellas, what are we drinking tonight?
That's still
Since I've
got a
been
little.
doing the gym and trying to change my habits, unfortunately, I've got water.
I
I'm
still got a
just
little.
here.
I got a little Voodoo Ranger left here. So
All right, so we're gonna let Beefcake over here from the gym. I've got caramel apple Werther's blended with Malibu. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I remember that from October. Ooh, that was some good
Yes,
stuff.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm gonna say the if you drink part. I'm gonna let Beefcake here finish us off. If you drink,
May you drink with me. Yeah, go ahead and tongue that can like it's a fart box, Tim.
Beefcake, beefcake.
Fears of War Gaming Podcast.